Hey, hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. Excuse me. If you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today we're going to talk about successful people don't overthink things. So, I love to learn and watch highly successful people and learn from them. And I believe that success leaves clues. And if we can watch what successful people do, we can learn a lot from them. And one of the things that the very successful people do is they don't overthink things. Typically people think that successful people's minds are always working as fast as they can in order to keep up with everything that they have going on in their lives, but that's really not true. Sure, they keep themselves busy, but that doesn't mean they're constantly thinking about everything. That would be what's referred to as overthinking, and it's a very poor habit to develop. Overthinking occurs when you start to let your mind go wild and you're thinking deeper and deeper about something until you make yourself crazy, right? So we all do it from time to time, every one of us. I mean, for instance, you might hear someone mention your name in a conversation and then your mind won't shut off and you start thinking about all these situations where they're talking poorly about you behind your back and they all secretly hate you and I don't know, they don't like you and that's crazy talk, right? But you know what? We all do it. I know you do. So don't tell me you don't. We all do. I do. I don't as much anymore. Because I've really worked on it. But yes, it does happen. The thoughts come into my mind and then I tell myself, no, stop. That doesn't matter to me, right? Because it doesn't help us at all. Successful people don't spend any more time thinking about something than they need to. So they certainly don't let their thoughts run wild about things that aren't important to them right at that moment. So many people, they overthink when they're trying to become successful, and inevitably they end up doubting themselves and questioning their own decisions all the time. You ever find yourself doing that? Because it not only creates a lot of unnecessary stress, but it can also leave you to not doing the good ideas because you're too afraid to implement them, right? Instead of overthinking, successful people have everything in their life so planned out that they don't give certain things a second thought. Instead of worrying about what you do as your next move, successful people already have a plan of attack for what they do, so they're not lost. They just know what they're going to do next. And that goes right along with what I teach my team and how I work my business. And, like I said, I learn from successful people, right? I teach systems with my team for follow-up, for prospects, and for customers, and just systems to stay in touch with my customers, systems to get a brochure in everybody's hands by mail, systems to follow up by text, all of that. And systems for my prospects, people who are thinking about selling Avon. And when you have a system, meaning that you open your calendar and today you look at your calendar and you go, okay, today I need to send text number 2 to that particular prospect, for instance, then it's just something you do. You send text number 2 and you check it off your list, right? Now you don't need to drive yourself crazy by thinking to yourself, is it too soon to text them again? Are they going to think I'm a bug if I text them again already? Now you just do what's next on the list, you get it done and you check it off, right? Successful people plan out their systems or steps as to how they do what they do. That's what they do. And when I think about overthinking, I'm not only thinking about us getting paranoid about what people are thinking of us, right? Overthinking is the enemy of success because success is about action. Success isn't about thinking. The two things that separate people in the world who are successful and not is knowledge and action. That's it, right? What do you know? And what actions do you take as a result of what you know? So maybe you're overthinking, or maybe you're worrying. That's also overthinking. Worrying is the same thing as overthinking. And you're worrying about a particular event that's coming up, Sometimes the worrying or the overthinking can be far more painful than the actual event itself. So that's why the night before a big test is often far more stressful than the test itself. Right? If you have to take an exam or a test or whatever, or preparing for that big presentation can cause you to feel really overwhelmed, or weighing up all the pros and cons before you make a business decision or a career change. You obviously need to look at pros and cons. Don't get me wrong. You need to look at them. You need to make a good decision. But when you overthink it and you spend all the time weighing the pros and cons, that can be so excruciating. Often we want to try to get as much information as possible because we're afraid of making a mistake. And that's where you're going over and over those pros and cons over and over again. But life is about learning as you go. We all fail, right? We all fail. We talk about that all the time. We just have to learn how to bounce back and keep going. It's better to fail fast and early because after all the failures, then you have wisdom, right? And oh my gosh, wisdom. Unlike knowledge, wisdom comes from experience, and it's a basic intuitive understanding of what not to do or what to do, right? Wisdom just comes from that. It comes from time and experience. So instead of panicking over what to do in the event of, like, when you run into an obstacle or something gets in your way or you're not sure what to do, successful people simply know what to do based off their pre-existing contingency plans. All of this planning that they've done, they've set up systems, they've got plans, all of that turns out to be worth it when you compare it to being lost and panicked, right? That lost and panic is not a good feeling, and it's not going to help you be successful, or even worse, letting your mind go wild, thinking deeper and deeper about something until you make yourself crazy, right? Planning and systems make it easy to work towards success. It's hard to work on projects that you need to when you're so concerned about what to do next. And if you're constantly overthinking, then you're going to end up putting yourself in a rut that you can't quite get out of. So that's not going to help you in your success, in your business, in your job, in whatever, in your success in life. Successful people work the plan. They learn from their mistakes and they adjust the plan as necessary. And they're just quick to continue on to the next part of their plan. It's just check, 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 right? Without any worry at all. And it's easy for them simply because they just have already taken the time to develop that system or that plan of how they're going to do something ahead of time. And so they're ready. So now they just follow the system. Now they just follow the plan that they've set up. And that means they're less stressed, they're far more efficient, and they become successful much quicker, right? So, hey, how about you? Do you tend to overthink things? I know I do sometimes, but hey, we're working on it, right? So what ideas do you have to stop yourself when you find yourself doing that, right? What do you find helps? Please share with us. Get below in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, thanks for being here with us today. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.